everybody. Happy Thursday. For some reason, it feels like a Friday, but it's only Thursday. Hey, Diego. Diego just joined. Diego's a new member. I always give shout-outs to new members. We're going to talk about comics today. This was Juan's idea on Tuesday to kind of like to keep the streams going because there aren't a lot of stories, obviously, because everyone's Comic-Con. Comic-Con. This is the biggest Comic-Con day, and I've had my lunch. So Comic-Con is gonna it's kicking off right about now. The first Amazon Prime panel of the day is starting. So I kind of set this together so that I could do trailer reactions for the Amazon Prime videos. Hey, thanks for joining, Timothy Gonzalez. I kind of did it so I could join I could do the trailer reactions for those right after this. And then at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there's the New Mutants panel. And then immediately after that, at 6, it's The Boys Season 2. So, quite the day. This is the biggest day. Tomorrow, there's only the Hulu Hellstrom panel, really. And then on Saturday, you have a little bit of stuff. But then, of course, JusticeCon is on Saturday with Zack Snyder giving us a small little clip that I'll certainly cover as well. So that's kind of what's going on right now. That's what's going on. I hope everyone's doing well. Sir Charles, Comic-Con at home is very lackluster because they don't really have very much content. I mean, as I just said, today's the day, the big day. Thank goodness for streaming. If it weren't for streaming, this convention would have nothing. But yeah, there's not a lot going on, unfortunately. Bill and Ted is also on Saturday, but now, unless you're really into that movie, who cares, because they released the trailer today. But yeah, we're going to talk comics today. We're going to talk about comic books. Actually, I'd have to say that this Wednesday, Tuesday and Wednesday, for some reason, DC is releasing all their comics on Tuesdays now. So on Tuesday and Wednesday combined, I actually had like a normal stack of comics. I bought I'd say, let me see. Let me look it up. Hold on. How's everyone doing today, by the way? Who's still reading comic books? And how are you getting them? Max, the Boys panel is at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. Let me log in. Dallas is still reading comics. That's excellent. I like how you referred to yourself in the third person there, Dallas. Oh, good. Lauren, Jesse, Alexander Valentine is buying them online. Pastor Madeline is installing wood flooring. That's a very unique quarantine activity. Hey, Lion, thanks for joining. Callum has stopped reading them. Justin's going through Comixology. Hey, Ryan, thanks for joining. Ryan Kostler. Even though we're talking comics today, at the end of the stream, we'll still do 10 minutes if you can ask me anything you'd like. A lot of you are signing up for Comixology. I love Comixology. It's fantastic. So let me see how many I bought. Hold on, wait a minute. All right, so I bought my Betty's and Veronica's. Let me see, can I bring up a window on this thing? Last time it wasn't working quite well, so let me see if I can do it now. Let me see if it works. It didn't work before, but I'm gonna try it. It doesn't still work. Damn it. All right. So anyway, I bought, let's see here. I bought 2 Betty and Veronica's because I buy them every week. They make me happy. I bought the new Daredevil, number 21. I bought a ton of Empyre. We'll talk about Empyre. I haven't read any of it, but we're going to talk about it. So I bought a bunch of Empyre. Wicked Things from Boom Studios. Hey, the True Nerd. I really like John Allison's Giant Days, and this is his follow-up comic, Wicked Things, about Esther Groot's cousin, I believe, actually. And she's like helping to solve crimes in London. She's like a teenage detective. It's like pretty good. I like it a lot. So I'm reading that. I have bought the new Wolverine, X-Men Fantastic Four, which finally frickin' finished. It took forever. Let's see here. I bought Batgirl, Batman, Joker War. We're going to talk about those. I read those. I also bought Detective Comics, but I haven't read that yet because I haven't read the first part. So overall, in this week, I've bought, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 comics. That makes me pretty happy. So 17 comics, fantastic, and a ton of those were Empyre. So out of that, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, some of them were old Empyre comics, so I hadn't picked up yet because I was like, what's this Empyre? So 4, 5, 6, so 7 of that were Empyre comics. Because I was like, what the heck is this? So that's a lot. So Empyre, that's why they like crossover events, because they get you to buy a ton of comics. So we're going to talk about them. First, we'll talk about Joker War, and then we're going to talk about Marvel's Empyre. Hey, DMC Boston, thank you for joining. All right, so who's reading Joker War? Who's reading Joker War? Thanks, Epic Echo. Epic Echo said I put him to shame with my comic book purchases. Well, you know, they're for research, so they are a business expense. So some of you are not reading it. Jesse's reading it. Oh, Lisa, congrats on your new 4K television. I'm glad to be on it. I'm honored. Some of you are reading it. I think it's okay. All right, so let's talk about Joker War. Madeline never read a comic, but is a good sport and is joining in today. All right, so I think Joker War is medium. So I actually had it was a roller coaster of emotion reading it this week. So when I read the new Batman, what number is it? Batman 95. I was like, this is only medium, okay? Because here's the thing, I don't like it when a villain like takes everything from a hero and like, so the setup is that Joker has taken all of Bruce Wayne's money. And so he does like a hostile takeover of the company, and he has the right to all Wayne Tech donations and all the money and everything that Wayne Tech money has purchased, which includes Wayne Manor. And I don't know, I feel like it's a little bit far, and I just don't know what Joker would want with all that money. It just seems out of character. I don't love it. It just feels, and he also knows who everyone is. He knows their secret identities. I'm just kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this. So I've had mixed feelings about it. I would also say that Punchline, Jico just asked about Punchline. I have to say, so far I don't really like Punchline. I think she is not any fun. What do you guys think of Punchline so far, the Joker's new girlfriend? She's just not fun to have around. I think she's kind of annoying. I can't wait for her to get punched. Dancing Dog says, I'm a Marvel person. Well, don't worry, we're going to get to Marvel next. Two Force, says Raphael. Yeah, Alexander Valentine, she is a Harley knockoff, and a poor one at that. She does look great, Ty, I agree. But yeah, I mean, I think that she's really not making her mark. And she's like better than everyone, you know? And also, I don't know if you've read the new Nightwing, but like Nightwing has been turned over to be like the Joker's son. But he's like had this weird storyline apparently. I stopped reading Nightwing because it was really bad. And when I heard about what they did, I was like, I'm glad I stopped reading it. Apparently he has amnesia and he's been calling himself Rick. And he's been fighting crime under a different alias. I'm like, what the heck is this? Why, what is this? But I only read it because it was a Joker War crossover and because Punchline was in it. And I just thought the whole thing, I was just like, you know, they already did this very well in Return of the Joker for Batman Beyond. I'm like, if you're going to do this again, you better like take the time to do it right. And let me tell you, they weren't taking the time to do it right. Logan says, Punchline feels like she was written to go straight to live action and not be a worthwhile comic character. Logan, that's very good. I agree with that. Also, every time she introduces herself, I mean, I'm glad she has a different line every time about why she's the Punchline. But I don't know. I'd be like, your opening line's pretty good, but then you have nowhere to go from there. You have no material, Punchline. You have no material. I don't know how she's so good with knives. She also apparently works with toxins like Scarecrow. What the heck am I reading? Yeah, Jesse. I think Punchline's just... This Punchline doesn't deliver. So anyway, who's writing Nightwing? Let me tell you. I'll tell you who's writing it. It's being written by... Where is it? Oh, I gotta click on it. Give me a second. Dan Jurgens. Oh, that explains a lot. Dan Jurgens is a pretty big name in comics, but he's a workhorse writer. No one's ever like, when is the new Dan Jurgens coming out? Hey, Tancred Bay. But you know what I really loved, which kind of like made me feel like maybe Joker War is not a total waste of my time? Batgirl. Batgirl this week was phenomenal. It's written by Cecil Castellucci, whose name is familiar to me. He's written some stuff. Not anything that I'm like, wow, like amazing, but enough that I'm like, I mean, how can you forget that name? Did he write Female Furies? Hold on, because that was horrible. That was just horrible. Let me see if that was him. It was. I take everything back. That was horrible. But anyway, he also wrote this Batgirl, this new Batgirl that came out today, and I thought it was, it came out this week. I thought it was phenomenal. It was really clever. I liked what it had to say about women. I liked how it handled the Joker Batgirl history and current relationship. I really don't like that Batgirl can walk and with a chip in her back. I'm like, this is the dumbest comic book fix I've ever seen. But they've been sticking with it, although I think that maybe they might have, this might be the comic where she goes back to being paralyzed, which I have to say I would be in favor of. I think what they did with the character was very interesting, and to undo that, I think is ridiculous. Maybe Cecil Castellucci is a woman, but Cecil is a guy's name. Let's look it up. It is a woman named Cecil. Well, good for her. I'm glad she's getting so much work, and this was very good. So I would definitely recommend that you check this out. I think it's a very good Batgirl comic, and it's a very, very good read. I thought it was very good. Excellent. Great artwork, too. I really enjoyed it. So I think Joker War is really hit or miss. I think that so far, I feel it's not a great crossover event. It's not going to be one of those crossover events that people remember for all time. They're like, like No Man's Land and stuff like that. But it's okay. It's nice to bring the Joker back in a big way after he's been missing for a while. But, I don't think he's being brought back in a particularly compelling way, to be honest with you. It's early days in the crossover event. We'll see. All right. So that's Joker War. What do you guys think of Joker War? Let's just have a quick thought on what you guys think. Hey, Platinum Diva. Nice use of emojis there. Greg Rucka is very talented, check Film Fantastic. Although I did hear that he was rewritten significantly on the Old Guard movie. Just he couldn't be revealed because of Writers Guild laws. Also, does the Joker have a crush on Batman? Scott Snyder introduced that idea. I don't really know how I feel about it. I have mixed feelings about it. I'm not sure. Hey, Too Much. Love Aaron says, Joker War is so badly written, but I'm sticking around for punchline. Yeah. Max Sauce says this is too small for a big event for DC. I would agree with that. Yeah, the true nerd. Joker doesn't need wealth and power. It's totally against the character. Jeff, I don't know what's going on with 3 Jokers. That's written by Jeff Johns, by the way. But I really liked his Batman Earth 1, so I'll pick it up. I don't know. I don't like this idea of 3 Jokers, though. I don't know what they're doing with Joker. It's driving me crazy. Graham says Joker is asexual in my opinion. I think that's probably true. I don't think he's that interested in it. Constance Lewis says, I love Joker, but I need less of him. Yeah, he needs to be used sparingly. I don't like the Batman Who Laughs, Kyle, but I am enjoying Death Metal. I think it's pretty interesting. I like the world building, so I'm reading that. All right, so let's go to the next thing. Let's go to Marvel's Empyre. Now, I haven't started to read this because it's like I'm overwhelming already. Like I'm like, oh my God, I'm so far behind. And I thought Marvel did a horrible job promoting this. I was actually going through comics for this week, and they were like, Empyre #2 comes out, and I was like, what the heck is this? Empyre with a Y? Oh my God, I gotta read it. So apparently, Empyre, I'll read you the credits. With the description. So, featuring action-packed extras and a cover gallery, script inked and color pages and more. No wonder I paid $6 for it. The Kree and the Skrulls have united under a new emperor, Emperor Hulkling. Actually, I got to tell you, the whole reason that I decided to read this was because of Emperor Hulkling. Because Hulkling is such a popular character because he's the boyfriend of Wiccan. I was like, they made him an emperor. I got to read that. So... Oh, Aaliyah says Deadline's own Star Trek Comic-Con panel went dark over a CBS copyright glitch. That's hilarious. Oh, you made my day, Aaliyah. Juan says Gaze in Space. Yeah, I have to say that. I thought that was very intriguing. I liked Gaze in Space. I thought that was hilarious. And I think, I'd love to see them do something interesting with Hulkling, in my opinion. I think Hulkling is a cool character, and I think that he and Wiccan have kind of been shelved for too long. So that's why I want to read... That's why I want to basically pick up this whole event. So anyway, the Kree and the Skrulls have united under a new emperor, and their war fleet is on a collision course for our world. On the moon, the Avengers are ready to strike with the full power of Earth's mightiest heroes. Approaching from outer space, how awkward, ships in the night. Approaching from outer space, the Fantastic Four are seeking a diplomatic solution. If the two teams can't work together to save the day, things can only get worse. This sounds not great, but I'm going to read it. I'll at least read some of them. I've been feeling like Avengers has been bad for a really long time, to be honest with you, as a comic. Like really bad. So I'm not too happy about it. Who's writing this? Hold on. So it's written by, the main title is written by Al Ewing and, Dan Slott's very talented, so that's probably pretty good. Al Ewing I have mixed feelings on. Emperor Hulkling, though, has a great writer. Emperor Hulkling. Also, there's an X-Men title for Empyre with Jonathan Hickman on the first issue. So I'm like, I got to read that. I think Jonathan Hickman is hit or miss, but, I'm interested what he's doing with the X-Men. But Emperor Hulkling is written by one of my favorite writers, Chip Zdarsky. He's co-writing it with someone else, but still, he's on there. And I really like Chip Zdarsky. I think he's a very talented writer, and I can't wait to see how this goes. So I wonder what's going on with him and Wiccan. He's like, can we still date if I'm going to blow up your planet? So we'll see what happens. But yeah, has anyone read Empyre yet? Has anyone read Empyre? I gotta wait for you guys to catch up to me. Oh, Joseph Chip Zdarsky, I think he's currently on Daredevil, which is fantastic. I think he is. Let me check. But also he wrote the Star-Lord standalone, which I thought was excellent. Excellent. Really, really good stuff. I'm also trying to read Strange Academy. Yeah, he's writing Daredevil right now, which is so good. His Daredevil run is amazing. But I'm trying to read Strange Academy, but it's such an X-Men ripoff, it's a little distracting for me. You should definitely read the new Daredevil. It's really good stuff, and the artwork on it is fantastic. So is anyone reading it? Dallas says, here's the thing. You don't feel empathy for either the Kree or the Skrull, and introducing a new plant race you've never known. Damn it, it's just hard to feel connected. Steven, people ask me a number of times how to jump into comics, and I always have the same advice. You just got to get in there. I think you just can't find it intimidating. Just start reading what interests you, what characters you like. Start reading it, and then you can always fill in the blanks with videos like from me and other people on YouTube, or just go on Wikipedia. You'll catch up real quick. There's never going to be a good time or place to jump in, really, to be honest with you. Oh, Steven says it's been pretty good. Oh, that's good. Stephen Kendrick says it's good. I'm sorry, Graham. I don't dislike Al Ewing's work, but he's not one of those writers where I'm like, he's writing it, I gotta read it. Lauren is not liking Empyre. Lion doesn't like it either. Darn it, I spent a lot of money on it already. You know, I think like one of the only last good crossovers was like Fear Itself. I thought that was pretty good. But otherwise, I feel like they haven't had a good crossover in a while in any of the comic book companies, which is, and Blackest Night was an amazing crossover, but that was years ago in DC. Years ago. They haven't had a good crossover, I feel, in my opinion, since. Are there any recent crossovers that anybody's enjoyed? Like recent? I thought Avengers versus X-Men was pretty to look at, but not good. The Avengers and the X-Men don't really mix, in my opinion, so I'll be curious to see how Kevin Feige handles it. Hello, Matthew. I'm not reading Deceased. Moviegoer 727. I do like Tom Taylor, though. I think his Suicide Squad is excellent. Oh, I liked War of the Realms, Jonathan. That was excellent. I not love Secret War. Yes, Matthew. Emma had a great look in Avengers vs. X-Men. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are enjoying Deceased. Maybe I'll pick it up. I did not like Civil War II, Joseph. I thought it was too much of an annoying conflict between Captain Marvel and everybody else. Oh, Justin, that's a good point. Doomsday Clock, I thought that was pretty good. It kind of lost its way at a certain point, but when it started out, I thought it was excellent. Even its Harley ripoff, I thought was good. Okay, it's 3:25. The Geeky Gator, you just made it. So it's 3:25. You can ask me anything you like until 3:35. And then I shall turn my attention to Comic-Con. Diego, I did try to read a Star Wars Marvel comic. I thought it was a little weak. Like when it started out, I read the first, like Princess Leia. When they first started doing their Star Wars comics, I picked them up. But I didn't, I thought they were only okay. Dwayne says, thoughts on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I feel very bad for Denise Richards. This is 2 character assassinations in a row on the show. First Lisa Vanderpump, now Denise Richards. I don't know how they're going to get anyone else to be on there. Alexander Valentine says, Grace, who is your favorite YouTuber? I really consistently like How It Should Have Ended. I think that's a great YouTube channel. Stefano says, will toy merch survive this era? I don't know. I just heard like some production companies are totally shut down and all their employees have been let go because they can't afford to pay them a salary. That's a really big problem. I'm not quite sure what they're going to do. I think a lot of companies are going to hit really difficult times, but hopefully everything will be able to come back. Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate that. Yeah, I was really frustrated yesterday with that Lando situation. Just to clarify, you know, if someone covers the story like the same day, you know, then it's like, well, we all got it from our sources that day. That's fine. And I wouldn't even have been upset. I would have been still annoyed, but I wouldn't have been as annoyed if they had just not said breaking. Like they acted like they were the first to report it. And let me just tell you, I myself, whenever I get some tea, I always go and check to see if anyone else has got the tea before me. You just do a simple YouTube and Google search and see if anyone else has reported it to make sure that you know, so it's like either I'll say I'm breaking the news or I'm the first to report it, or I'll be like, well, now I can confirm it. That's how I try to handle it. You know, I try to be very, very careful. So it's frustrating to see other people not be so careful. If they had just said, we can also confirm this, it would have been like, fine, yay. And I still would have said I had it first in April. Although apparently it showed up, and I never said I had a breaking story. I said I've heard from my sources, but you know, there was rumors of that even happening in November 2019. So these guys are like really late on the story, and it's just ridiculous. So I was just annoyed, and it's like some people don't like it when you stand up for yourself, but I feel like it's a thing that particularly that women don't do. Women don't stand up for themselves, and so I try really hard to fight that. try really, really hard to not fall into that same trap. And I try to do it respectfully and nicely. And I want to tell you, I really appreciate that you guys helped out so much. Kyle, there was no stream yesterday because I was embroiled in that, quite frankly. Although I did, by the way, thank you for telling me, reminding me, I moved my food delivery. My food delivery will now come to my home on Sundays, Sunday afternoons after movie math. So I can cover things like I'm supposed to, and I won't have to cut my Wednesdays short anymore. Thanks, TJ. Check Film Fantastic. Why will you be upset if New Mutants goes to digital? I think you should just want to see these movies. Some movies are going to get sacrificed, people. Some movies are going to get sacrificed. Yeah, Joseph, we'll go back to the original streaming schedule. So the streaming schedule will return to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Sunday mornings, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Jonathan, I am still reading the Thor comics. I think they started out super strong, but now I feel like the story's not going anywhere. Jose, I will be covering Beyonce's Black is King for Disney+. I was a little nervous about it because she's, you know, it's like her film. I'm like, who would take on the Lion King? Who would retell the Lion King? But I did see the first trailer, and I thought it had some pretty interesting stuff going on in it. So now I feel like a little bit like, whoo! And so I will certainly be reviewing it. That's right, CJ. These are the red shirt movies. That's pretty funny. Tabitha Play says, do you think we will find out about Mulan this week? It's a little early. Hey, Wesley Jones, thanks for joining. I think that they're going to want to have all the attention on New Mutants, whatever they decide for this week, and then they'll probably decide with Mulan maybe next week. I really don't think Disney's going to want to be first. I'll be surprised if they want to be first, but let's see. They might do a street. I think Bill and Ted is going to at least be able to claim they did it first, but I think you might see a number of studios decide to do this. You know, you can watch it at home or at theaters. You know, theaters aren't going to like that. Orion doesn't care. Orion's like, who cares if we make them upset? We're Orion. We don't hardly release any movies. But I think that, you know, Disney has to worry about making, you know, placating movie theaters. So I'm just not quite sure what they're going to do. Thanks, Aaliyah. Jason, Emma Frost is okay in the comics. Nobody can write her like Grant Morrison, unfortunately. Nobody. Fidel, you got your dog. His name is Vision. Oh, Vision, like Marvel. Oh, that's great. CJ, you guys have two dogs that apparently look alike, and they both have great Marvel names. Vision's a good name for a dog. That's great. Lion, I'm reading The Marauders and the main X-Men title. That's the two X-Men comics I'm reading right now. My pleasure, Tabitha. Oh, that's very sweet of you to say, Taylor. I'm not worthy of the Beyonce comparison. Beyonce is wonderful. We have 3 minutes left. Oh, Miller has ferrets named after Guardians of the Galaxy. That's fantastic. I love it. Lloyd says, Grace, can you comment? Marvel Studios is reportedly on early development on the Illuminati. They could be, but I think, you know, obviously Secret Invasion is going to come first. So, I mean, that would be, I mean, I haven't heard anything about that, but I think that's like, Secret Invasion is like clearly what they're building towards. You don't put the Skrulls in your cinematic universe. And I've heard that Avengers, you know, Captain Marvel 2 will be a big Secret Invasion movie. So, you know, it's pretty obvious, and I've also heard that from my sources. Kyle, I do not like to hike. I'm afraid of nature. Me and nature are not friends. I'm a city child, and I like concrete and chemicals. I went to the beach once in Santa Monica, and I stepped on a bee. The whole damn beach, and I step on a bee. I was worried I stepped on something else. I had to go to the medical station. It was like a real thing. Chico, I don't think I'm going to review the Howard documentary. I'll watch it, but I don't think I'm going to review it because, I mean, let's see how slow things are. But things are starting to pick up, and I'm afraid I don't think there's going to be a lot of traffic for that. I do not like camping, Joseph. I'm not a camper. Diego says, do you think we will ever see Zootopia 2? I think they're building a Zootopia land at one of their theme parks in Asia, so it's certainly a property that Disney's literally invested in. But Rich Moore, Rich Moore left to go to another animation company. So it's going to be hard to move forward without him on that. He was a big presence there. So I'm not saying they won't ever do it, but I think that's created a problem for them. The Geeky Gator says, will you watch Avatar The Last Airbender before the live action show? I will not, because it's the same story, just live action, which I think is ridiculous. I think it's very stupid to do that. It should have been a new story that built on the characters that we already know and love. Who asked me about glamping? Constance, I wouldn't go glamping. I'm afraid of ticks. I gotta tell you, I'm afraid of ticks. I'm afraid of, I don't like nature. I'm afraid of, I don't like it. Logan says, favorite classic Disney character. Oh, I love Mickey Mouse. You gotta love, he's the ultimate classic Disney character, right? But I also like Jiminy Cricket. I think he's adorable. Alexander Valentine, nature is not my friend. It's trying to get me. Lion knows what I'm talking about. Stefano, I don't know, but no, Doom Patrol apparently has not been renewed. Perry Mason can get renewed, though. Although you gotta have a second season of Perry Mason with the way things are going. How can you not? Bye, Go Wands Butterfly. Abdul, I'm glad you eventually found me, though. Chico, no, I'm going to be working very late tonight. That's why I had lunch. Delicious lunch. Bye, Alexander Valentine. I like saying your full name. Lisa, Perry Mason just got good. Like, it was not so great. It's very atmospheric, which is why I continued to watch it. And then it luckily paid off at the last episode. So I think that was episode 5. Juan, I think we'll do a New Mutants watch-along if it does indeed go to streaming. Oh, it's 3:36. All right, everybody, I got to start focusing on Comic-Con coverage. Don't forget, the Truth Seekers panel is going on right now. Then at 4 p.m., you have the Utopia panel. 5 p.m., New Mutants. And 6 p.m., these are all Eastern Standard Time. 6 p.m., The Boys Season 2. All right, see you soon. Bye, everybody. Bye.